Greetings, folks. Welcome. It is I, the Mongol Man, and today I'm talking with my buddy Benjamin, who I met online with the Dopamine Discipline course, which is online course around quitting porn and rewiring the brain, subconscious, and becoming a better, stronger man. Met a lot of good brothers on there, and we connected a lot about a lot of different things. Some things around health, societal conditioning, the matrix, and we talk a lot about pickup and dating. And we go deeper into it than just talking to girls and having sex. It's kind of how it all wraps up into spirituality, our whole experience here on Earth. We talk about sovereignty and freedom in that regard, as well as in legal realms, and how are we creating our reality and society for ourselves and others. So, I think you'll enjoy it, and feel free to let me know what you think. Cool. Enjoy.
Can you hear me through this?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Anyway, how are you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm feeling better now, but I've definitely been going through some personal shit.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, I got my first colon hydrotherapy session done yesterday. It was very painful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm kind of tight down there, and there's also been painful shitting happening,
Yeah.
scratches and cuts. And I've been really fucking itchy, in particular the last week, but it's been on and off the last few months. And I was up until 6, 7 in the morning, just like, what the fuck? And I was screaming and crying at one point, and I've been having nights like that on and off, for like sleepless nights the last few months. And
And when you say itching, are you referring to kind of mental itching in your soul, or what exactly are you talking about?
Well, maybe some of that, but I do mean like physically,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah, I have the same. I have the same.
Yeah, you
And
got
you know
some,
what? I also have it on I never had it on my elbow. Yeah, I had it on my hands and feet, and it's mostly gone. But now I have it on my elbow as well, which is really weird. And no one can tell me why the fuck is it appearing on my elbow. Yeah, and I haven't slept. I haven't slept more than 3 or 4 hours for the last months either. Yeah. So welcome to the club. I actually just came back from the Bikram yoga class, and I told another AP of mine that you know what, I have to stop all the drugs. And when I say all the drugs, I'm not just referring to medicine or cold medicine or ADHD drugs. I'm also referring to caffeine. I'm referring to CBD drops, alcohol. Just cut out everything completely. I have a coffee machine. I think it was around $1,000. I'm going to sell it now for probably half the price, because I noticed that, when I was really performing the best when I didn't take any drugs whatsoever. No caffeine. Yeah, everyone in the office looked at me like I'm an alien, because they were popping coffee after coffee and whatnot. And I couldn't even drink half a cup of coffee. Even if I drank half a cup of coffee, I would be awake the whole night. And now I was thinking, why the fuck am I not able to sleep since months? And I think it's actually the coffee, because if you retain your semen, any additional stimulation, coffee, cold medicine, even just too much tea can be too much. And I think that might keep us up at night.
Interesting. I've been kind of on and off the coffee for the last year. Yeah, the last few days I haven't had any. I've also been changing my diet a lot. Like I had a big thing of quinoa and vegetables yesterday, and that was all I ate for one meal. And then I had that again a couple hours ago. I might eat again today, but
Are you a vegan or vegetarian?
no, not really. My roommate's vegan. I cook a lot for him, and us, So like I can whip up some good vegan vegetarian stuff, but I prefer to have some meat and like butter or ghee butter. And I think, yeah, especially in the winter months, I like to have more girth in there.
Yeah. I'm kind of going back and forth. I was vegan for 2 years and I felt really good. And I was doing really well with the semen retention. Then I started eating meat again. And in the beginning, it was great. But after a while, I noticed that my mental state is not as clean anymore. Even though I have that extra oomph and groundedness from the meat, I feel like my mental state is not as clear. But then it's different for every individual, right? Some people thrive on eating meat, some people don't. And it probably also changes depending on what phase of your life you're in.
I guess, yeah. I just turned 30 a month and a half ago.
Congrats. How do you feel with the 3 at the beginning?
Feels really intense. The night of my birthday was a nice gathering for me, but some weird stuff happened, and I felt really shitty about myself. And throughout the gathering, all my friends were there, and my parents came, my sister came with her little son, and they met everybody. And like we had some. My dad actually brought some THC gummies, and we all
Oh,
ate them.
shit.
And,
Your dad brought some THC gummies. That's interesting.
yeah, they like the cannabis.
You're from California, right?
I'm from Illinois.
Oh, all right.
Where that Chicago? Basically in Chicago right now. It's pretty close. I know Chicago's the big city in Illinois.
But you also have the legal weed, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I ended up staying up all night. I think in conjunction with the weed and the thing that happened where I felt like it kind of just triggered. Oh, maybe I'm not a good friend. I'm taking advantage of people. I'm not grown up enough. What I'm doing for work. How am I living? It's not like a traditional, grown up way of life. I'm quite free with my time, but as far as how much finances I have, I'm kind of like I hop to where I can hop, and I do little gigs here and there to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of work trade type of deals. So like my roommate, I live with him. I'm here while he's at work. I walk the dog, and I'll cook for him. I'll clean the dishes and do other little things. I'm helping him. We just put all the floors, all the sealant and finish on the floors, and I'm kind of helping him get the place.
But you have also worked as an affiliate for Josh with his dopamine discipline program.
I did for a little bit, and yeah, I don't know why I stopped. I just something happened pretty intensely, like 3 or 4 months after the course. I went through it, I felt really good, and then I moved on to more spiritual awakening stuff. I found this other guy, Sasha Daygame, who used to be a big pickup dude. He was a comedian, and now he's really big into the spiritual path. So,
what's his name? Sasha Daygame.
Yeah, Sasha Daygame. There was a podcast him and Josh did. I listened to it. It fucking blew me away. And then I took a class with Sasha on, spirituality. We became buddies online. And then I stopped watching him for quite a while. But then I reconnected with him this past summer with the project I'm affiliated with called Rainbow Bridge Sanctuary. And then Sasha hooked us up with the dude who already, another German fellow, his name's Dirk. They have a village in Mexico. positive village, and that's something that we're attempting to do as well. And we're going down to Mexico now because I met up with Sasha in person for the first time a couple months ago. He did a show in Chicago with some really cool people. I went with my buddy Amethyst Flame, who raps. I like to rap. I like to do comedy and stuff too. And then they're like, we're going down to Mexico, middle of January. If you want to come, we'll have a place for you to stay. And I'm like, holy shit, this is going to be fucking epic. So we can go there and meet other people that are already doing this, like building parallel societies, creating eco villages. And I got to get a fucking passport. And there's a certain way to do it to where I basically have opted out of being a U.S. citizen and a state national. So I have a lot more rights and don't have to pay tax, and I can deregister my car. And I finally did it. It took me a month and a half of research to do it, get it, and do it properly. And this was a couple days ago where I did it and I got it, and it's complete and it's done correctly.
But
So
you
now
still live in the US?
Whew, yeah.
So
It's
you live
kind
in the US, but you're not a US citizen. I mean, I can see that you can opt out of these things if you move to Mexico in that kind of village. Yeah, that's kind of a parallel word, like you said. But I'm wondering how that works if you're still in the US.
Yeah, so this is kind of a deep rabbit hole about citizenship and our status. And I'm not sure how it works for other countries, but basically, like the United States of America, right? So they say that it's a country, but it's the United States is actually a corporation. Bankrupt federal corporation. America, the land is the land. But the United States exists in Washington, D.C., in the capital. And our citizenship is a piece of paper in a file in a building, the Department of State in Washington, D.C. So people think, oh, I'm a United States citizen. That means, I'm a part of the country. But if you opt into that, which most people do because we're miseducated, you become an employee of the corporation. So then you think, oh, I got to pay taxes. I got to register my car. I got to vote. I got to do all these things. But really, so I'm in Illinois. There's California. There's New York. There's all these states. Those are actually all countries themselves. And there's a difference between the land, the physical earth, and the corporate entity, if you will, that lays on top of the land, that is all paperwork, that is in all caps writing. So we're all born on a state. And if we get a birth certificate that reflects that state that we were born on, and then we think, oh, I'll be a United States citizen, I'll get benefits, but really you just get put into your paperwork, gets put into some file, and they can tax that.
Yeah. So how does the parallel world in Mexico look like?
That
kind of village.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to visit because our friend Dirk is gonna be visiting Germany at that time. He's gonna visit his family, but it's only like 45-minute drive away from where we'll be doing the big event. It's called the Greater Reset. It's the opposite of the Great Reset, and it's a bunch of people coming together, sharing on how we can, live free on this planet. But yeah, I can send you a website, send you some videos. It's a really cool real estate development idea they have too.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that US citizenship because, I'm from Germany, but since I was little, I was always watching Hollywood movies. And then once I got the internet access in my preteens, I started to, read through all that stuff from the US and network with those people and so on and so forth. And now with Zoom and Facebook, obviously even more. And because I'm not, I didn't complete my bachelor or master's degree or whatever. The only way for me to immigrate to the US would be either to get married, which is not what I'm looking for, at least not for this reason, or to apply for the, what's it called? Was it the blue card? No, the green card lottery. Yeah. And you know that applying for the green card lottery is quite a long procedure. Yeah. So you need to, I mean, it's actually quite simple. There are just like 7, 8, or 9 things that you need to do right, because unless you do them right, you will apply and then you will not get the green card at the end. And yeah, I was really looking forward to registering for the coming year, or I think it's for 2025. But then, the more serious it became, I realized that I actually don't even want to immigrate to the US anymore. Yeah, because I think many things have changed over there, and simply it would have been great if I would have done it in my early 20s, because I still had so much energy that I would be able to build a new life over there. But now I'm turning 35 in 9 days.
Nice.
And I simply don't see myself building a new life in a new country. Yeah. So, without any social security whatsoever, which is not something I have been using my whole life anyway. But yeah, I think the US is quite rough, and being really intelligent and motivated and pursuing your dreams can pay off. But then there are also many, many stories of people who have tried and failed. And if you look at something like homelessness or whatever, I mean, that's something that seems to be becoming a real problem in many big cities.
Yeah, in Chicago, they have a lot of Venezuelan people that they brought here for the winter time that are just living out in tents, which makes no sense. I mean, homelessness in general, like the whole capitalist money system, is designed to create suffering. We see it. Actually see people living on the streets, people shooting each other, dying, killing. It's all, we've gotten away from the essence of our humanity. And there's plenty of food for everybody if we work with the earth in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I did this whole citizenship change, is like it's opting out of that.
Yeah, and you know what I found interesting is that you mentioned pickup earlier. Yeah, and I think pickup is really interesting because it can be something really naive and stupid for people who do it simply because they want to get laid or whatever. But I always saw pickup, and many people do as well, as actually breaking free of society's norms. Yeah. So what do you think about pickup in today's world? Because we all know it used to be great, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when there was no Tinder whatsoever, but I think then there was a phase where pickup was kind of frowned upon, and I kind of now see it coming back. I kind of see it coming back now. But what's your opinion on it?
Yeah, man. Thank you for asking that. It honestly, like the last week or two, I was like trying to be celibate for like 3 years after meeting Josh and Sasha. A while after that, healing from quitting porn. But now, like, I've been going out on the street and I've been doing like just goofy things to like create awkward situations and kind of push my ego. And then, I've been chatting up women a bit. Yeah, I think it's important, and watching these videos of dudes out there doing it and talking about it, and like the underlying essence is, it's like I'm gonna go for what I want. I see a beautiful woman, I'm gonna go talk to her and tell her she's beautiful. And whether she gives me her number, she has a boyfriend, whatever, it's like I went and I would talk to her, I faced the fear, and I said what I wanted to say, and we'll see what happens. And I've had success doing that in the past as well. I've had sex, I've had friendships, interactions big things come from that. I think it's definitely important.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like you said, it's actually going for it and saying, you know what, I don't need to be a lawyer. I don't need to be a doctor. I don't need to drive that Porsche or Lamborghini or Maserati or whatever, because I have big balls. And if I talk to people, they will actually realize how great I am, and I will become greater with every approach. And and it actually also helps us to see ourselves in a different light. Yeah. I mean, if you get rejected, you win, because you get to see yourself in a different light than you would otherwise not be able to. And if you don't get rejected, then you win for sure, because you make new friends, or you have some social contact, and it's really enlightening, and you're connecting with people on a deep, actually spiritual level. Yeah, because you're putting all that other bullshit aside. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing, where are you going, what did you buy, and do you have to go back to work? And you notice that people are usually oftentimes trying to shove you back into that environment. Yeah, they're asking like, well, don't you have any work to do? What are you doing? Are you on holiday? It's when I lived on Malta, people actually always used to ask me, are you on holiday? And I said, nope, I live here. I went to work, and now I'm free. And yeah, 9 out of 10 people won't realize what you're doing, and they will think it's fucking weird. But then 1 out of 10 people will actually say, yeah, you know what? I don't feel like opting into that bullshit either. Let's just have fun together. Yeah. Let's just have fun together. Let's just kick it. And let's make fun of all the other people who are just like running around, looking for new perfume or clothes, or working their ass off for a new car or a holiday or whatever. Life is happening now. Yeah, life is happening now, and you could go out every given minute of your life and have a fucking blast, even if you're poor, even if you don't have any money in your bank account. Doesn't fucking matter, because you always have yourself. You always have yourself. And then kind of the interesting thing that happened to me was, because people obviously rejected me many times, it also helped me to kind of sharpen my personality and my discipline and everything. And then I went ahead and I applied that to the corporate world. Yeah, because now all of a sudden I didn't suck anymore. Everyone wanted to hire me. Yeah, because I was that extroverted, confident dude that everyone wanted to hire. Yeah. And then I started working in these companies, and I worked in sales, and I won every competition, and I outperformed everyone by far. And then I went from making like 18K per year to making 100K per year. And it was fucking great. And I actually enjoyed not having to put myself out there as much. And I also got brainwashed by these people. Yeah. I also got brainwashed, because they kept telling me that obviously I need more money. Yeah. And I need to become a team lead, and I need to become a manager. And who am I to have a girlfriend if I'm just a senior consultant, if the team lead or the manager doesn't have a girlfriend? Yeah. So I got brainwashed again. And that's why I became self-employed. And that was a big fucking project. And yeah, costs a lot of energy for sure to start a new company or whatever. But now when I came back from the yoga, I thought, what is it that I actually need to do? Because I'm having these sleepless nights, and I noticed it's a lack of connection. And yeah, connecting with people from the dopamine discipline course is great for sure. But we're also kind of running in circles. Yeah. It's like, how well are you doing? Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm not doing well, and so on and so forth. But connecting with women, yeah, with people that we want to be in a relationship with, I think is worth even more. So yes, connection is really, really important, and connecting with an AP is like a 1 out of 10 or maybe a 2 or 3 out of 10. But then connecting with your dream partner or your potential dream partner is like a 7 out of 10 or 8 or 9 or 10 out of 10.
Yeah, thanks for sharing all that, man. It's really cool timing because I've kind of had this unconscious, like, oh, I'm not gonna, I'm not out here to like have sex or any of that anymore. I did a lot of that, and I felt like it caused me some harm and some more shit to heal. But
But you
then,
don't
yeah,
need to, because if you're trying to have sex, you will, the pickups won't be as successful anyway. If you go into every situation not even wanting sex,
yeah,
then you can bet that it will be a really interesting conversation. It will be a really interesting conversation. Not wanting it and not going for it, but still connecting with people on an emotional level is a whole new level.
yeah. I mean, I just started doing it again this week. I've probably maybe approached 2 or 3 women. And I saw a woman yesterday driving, and I drove past her. I'm like, wow, she's fucking gorgeous. And then I drove past her and I saw her ass. I'm like, holy shit, her ass is fucking amazing. And I didn't like just stop the car and talk to her and say like, hey, you're fucking gorgeous. I need to talk to you. And I kept driving, and I went to like park, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna fucking run after. And I ran and I couldn't find her, and I was really bummed about it. And then it kind of triggered me to also realize there's some women in the community that I'm a part of that I've been kind of like not expressing how I really feel to them because of some fear of whatever. And it's really like, well, dude, I haven't been being authentic with myself and not with them. So basically been lying to myself and them, and me not being like, hey, look, I think you're attractive, you're cool too. I want to get to know you more. Whether it's like, hey, I just want to hang out with you, get to know you, and we can cuddle and hang out. Like, we don't have to go any further than that until it feels like natural to do.
And I feel that the whole pickup thing became much easier nowadays. Yeah, because back in the days it was really easy because the women, they didn't have any Tinder, they didn't have any Hinge, Bumble, OkCupid or whatever, so they needed to fill up their phone with contacts. Yeah, so you always had a good conversation and it was never weird. And then that stuff came out and it didn't really fucking matter. But then I think COVID was a big problem for pickup and stuff like that. And then even after, because I mean, I can understand that no one wants to do any kind of pickup or whatever during COVID. Yeah. But then after COVID was over, which is now, I think, 2 years, right? We had COVID in
Almost
20.
4 years.
Oh shit! Right, yeah, we had Yeah, in the US it was a bit more liberal. Yeah, so 2020 was the COVID year. 2021 was already open. I think here in Germany, 2021 was still somehow a year that was marked by COVID. But yeah, 2, 3, 4 years, something like that, and people are open again. Yeah, people are open again, and it became much easier because all of the new dudes, yeah, that are interested in women, which is everyone, they aren't doing it anymore. The content is not available on the internet anymore because the internet sucks balls nowadays. Yeah, you can't find what you're looking for anyway. I mean, when I used to do when you do a Google search on pickup or how to talk to women, I don't even know what kind of bullshit shows up there. Yeah. RSD, which used to be real social dynamics, became rejection sensitivity disorder. Yeah. I know the first time I saw, let's see what real social dynamics is doing. Yeah. And I typed in like RSD, and and back in the days, you type in RSD and it shows real social dynamics. And then all of a sudden it used to be, oh, rejection sensitivity disorder. And I thought, what the fuck is this? Am I doing something wrong? And then they said, like, yeah, if you talk to people and they reject you, some people, they take it, really personal, and you can become traumatized through it. And I thought that's really weird, because I thought it's something really enlightening and helps us to develop ourselves and so on and so forth. So yeah, that shit is not available anymore. And I think that's why something like a one-on-one coaching, which, I started, right, as a dating coach, and I'm already working with 2 test clients, is really valuable, because well, first of all, with pickup, it's not really difficult. Yeah, the big problem is people, they don't notice what the fuck they're doing, right? They don't notice what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, so they're being a fucking weirdo for weeks and months and years, and they don't even realize it. Yeah, and they don't want to go on any boot camp or whatever. So if they just talk to a coach, they can tell them where they fuck up, and all of a sudden they get better results. Yeah. Some guys think they are great even though they suck, and some guys think they suck even though they are great. Yeah, so just tilting them in the right direction is incredibly fucking valuable, and I'm always surprised how easy it is. Yeah, it's definitely not easy to get clients, because no one wants to do it and no one wants to pay for it. Yeah, but once you actually manage to get a client on board, it's the easiest thing in the world, because they just need to tell you what they're doing, and it immediately becomes clear what their problem is. Once they start talking about their pickup, or their lack of pickup, or what they're doing on the apps or whatever, it becomes incredibly clear what their problem is. But they cannot see it themselves. They cannot see it themselves.
Interesting. Yeah, man, that's cool that you're a coach like that. Have you done a lot of approaches like over the years?
Oh shit. A lot of approaches is a fucking understatement. I don't think I know anyone, even the big pickup artists. I think the guys from RSD like Owen Cook, they might be the only ones who have done more approaches than me. I'm pretty sure that Owen Cook is the only person in the world who has done more approaches than me. I mean, I kept doing like 20, 30, 40 approaches a day for years at a time. So we're looking at tens of thousands of approaches.
That's amazing, man. Good
I
for
know
you.
everything. Every time someone asks me something, I can give them an answer that's really enlightening. The only problem is just it's so much knowledge, yeah, that I mean, I wouldn't be able to like write a book or create a course. Why? Because it's just way too much knowledge. Yeah, but every time someone asks me a question, I can answer them, and they always really appreciate the help.
That's cool, man. Good for you. Yeah. I started, I mean, I did a couple things before my first guy I started checking out was Alan Roger Curry, Mode 1.
Yeah, I started listening to Mode 1. It's quite intense, right? I really liked that ebook, but it was quite intense.
Yeah, I mean, it gave me
Audiobook.
success pretty quickly. Like you go to a bar and you tell a woman that you're kind of vibing with, and just like, hey, I want to fuck you. Like you're sexy. I want to. And you start dirty talking her and stuff, and then it's like, all right, you go to a bar. It's like, yeah, sure. There's women, horny, upset women about life. They're like, sure, they'll fuck some guy who's making their pussy wet or whatever. But then at one point, it's like he says in the book, he's like, what's more important than having sex with women? What's more important to you as a man? And at the time, I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess he's right. But in my awakening journey, it's like there's a lot more things that are important to me than having sex with women. And there's a lot of men out here that just fuck somebody and they get them pregnant and then they marry them and then they spend their whole life just working some job, putting up with this person and the children. And it's like, that's not what they really wanted to do. And so the last 3 years, I've delved into a lot of different healing modalities and learning about the legal system and like how to get free from the slavery that we're actually in, like pretending like that money isn't a slave tactic. And so then it's like, are women like a big distraction for me? But I was also noticing like after I completed the dopamine discipline course, I was good for like 9 months. I met a couple women, and then it was like I just stayed away from women as much as I could, and like
And I
every
think
month
that's,
and a half, I would
yeah.
relapse.
And I
'Cause I
think
was-
that's that's the biggest problem that I see with people in the dopamine discipline community. As much as I like that course, the course has also ruined my life. Why? Because I have stopped chasing women. And chasing women is can be the most enlightening thing in the world. And the kind of ironic thing about life in general is, yeah, that in life, I mean, at least according to my experience, you have to be chasing something, yeah. And by chasing something, you put yourself into stressful situations, which is oftentimes necessary for us, yeah, because unless we experience stress, we don't tap into our potential, yeah. If we're just chill and relax all the time, we're only using like 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5% of our capacity. Yeah, if we have a bit of stress, we're using like 20% of our capacity. And if we know that shit is going down unless we perform this month, then we're probably able to do like 10 times as much as usual. At least that's my experience. Yeah. So chasing women has actually been the most enlightening thing in the world, but not because of the pussy that I have gotten or not gotten in many cases, but because of everything that happened um, in my inner world, because of everything that happened in my inner world. Yeah. And that's also why did I manage to go from 20,000 per year to 100K per year? Because I was never trying to. Yeah. I didn't give the slightest bit of a fuck about the money. Why? Because I knew that money wouldn't help me to get pussy or whatever. I mean, the pussy that I have gotten when I worked, when I earned 20K was fucking amazing. Yeah, the most delicious Latinas with the best body, so sexy and outgoing. And when I earned 100K per month, it was just, I thought, why the fuck have I been working all the time? But I haven't been working because of the money. I have been working because I wanted to put myself out there. Yeah. And instead of talking to women, I talked to people on the phone. Yeah. So I was cold calling people all the time. And that's actually quite similar, but obviously not as fun. Yeah, because calling a business person on the phone and talking them into something is obviously not the same thing as looking directly into the eyes of a beautiful woman that you might want to have sex with. But both things can actually be a vehicle. Yeah, so I'm just looking for a vehicle, Luke. I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for pussy. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just looking and I'm asking myself and I'm asking you, what could be the vehicle that we're using? What could be kind of the carrot on the stick that we're putting in front of us to actually fool ourselves in an intelligent way in order to embrace life. Yeah, in order to embrace life, in order to put ourselves out there. Yeah, and in order to experience new things, because unless you experience new things all the time, life starts to suck. Yeah, life starts to suck. Life starts to get boring, and we forget how powerful we are. Every day we wake up, we're lethargic, and we think, oh, why can I not do this? Why can I not do that? Well, it's probably because we have stopped chasing something. Yeah, unless you're chasing the carrot on the stick, you won't be able to perform. So my question to you would be, what is your carrot on the stick? If it's obvious, clearly it's not money for both of us. It's not women either. I mean, it can be women, but most likely it's not. So what is it?
I like this deep questioning, this rant. And I feel for me, I'm with that. Like I want money and women to be a byproduct in a conscious, intelligent way of like, what am I pursuing and creating, and what's my mission and purpose in life? Yeah, for me, it's challenging these systems in place that have enslaved humanity, and the vehicle looks like Rainbow Bridge, anchoring in an eco village in our area that we can live in, we can generate financial abundance with, we can have conscious, loving people that are willing to do the healing work, and we have ability to have our own transportation that is ours, that is private, money that is private, net positive businesses that create a lot of money and are healthy for the environment, and they give more than they take, and contributing to the collapse of this fucking parasitic overlord fucking central bank evil 1% type of stranglehold that's been on the fucking planet, whether it's reptilians or Anunnaki or just fucking evil dark energies that feed on human suffering and create war and starvation. And that's a struggle every day where I'm like, oh, am I eating too much? Am I have the energy? Should I be doing more push-ups? Should I be, and for a while that looked like I'm not going to talk to women because it's like it can be a headache dealing with them. I don't really need to have sex. I feel like I want to break these fucking chains off and have a safe space for the children to be and to exist and to thrive and be allowed to bring forth the gifts that they have and not be forced into a fucking rape slave camp called a public school that just indoctrinates them into math and science and technology and be obedient and be compliant and listen to us, rather than what do you want to offer to the world, because that's what the fuck we're here to do. And we have to fucking fight through that shit. If from the programming from our parents and from schools, it's like, oh, you got to get good grades, you got to listen to the authority figures, and it's all bullshit. It's all that's what I'm really passionate about. And that's this legal stuff, I don't enjoy it, but I'm passionate about it, and I see some potential there. I just got this passport. The police can't arrest me now. Like, I'm on it. That's like authority, police. It's all made up. Like, we just have granted it to them, and we give them all the guns, and then they take all the guns and they fucking murder people, and then you guys can't have guns. If you need any help, we'll come and save you 30 minutes later after everyone's been dead and fucking robbed or whatever. So that's like the ultimate carrot on the stick. That's what I think why we're here on this planet as men, to
And as
fight
men,
that, win,
yeah,
let it
to fi-
fucking
yeah, exactly. And you said something really interesting, to offer ourselves to the world. So the ironic thing about all of these pickup artists is actually they think they're trying to get something when in reality they're just offering themselves all the time. Yeah, they're just offering themselves all the time, and usually they think that they are getting rejected when in reality the woman simply fails to seduce them. Yeah, so think about that. If you're not charismatic, if you're not witty, yeah, then maybe the woman has actually failed to bring that charismatic and witty side out of you. Definitely something to think about. And I think this is actually the secret to sleeping well and to living a happy and fulfilled life, is to offer ourselves to the world. Yeah. The more we offer ourselves to the world, and it can even be in business, if you need to pay your bills or whatever, just call everyone and say, I'm willing to serve you. I'm willing to sacrifice my happiness today in order to help you out with whatever you need. If you need a new software, if you need a new employee or whatever it is that you're selling, yeah, I'm helping you out. And they will usually tell you to fuck off. And then you call the next person and the next person and the next person. And you do it like 300 times per day. And then in the evening, you can go to bed knowing that you have served the world, and you do that over the course of many weeks and months, and then all of a sudden your inbox will be overflowing with checks, or some form of it. And I think it's the same with pickup. Instead of saying, oh, I want pussy, or I'm not going to talk to that person because I don't want pussy, how about I'm actually offering myself to the world. Yeah. I'm actually breaking out of the chains of society. I'm starting a conversation. I'm curious what that person is about. I'm curious to see if that person is able to seduce me. And we all know that most likely it's not going to be the case. But every approach is actually us breaking free of society's norms. And it's something we can be proud of. And it's actually something we should be doing every single day.
Yeah, man, it's really cool that you're sharing these insights because the videos I've been watching of Sasha are like exactly what you're saying. Like, you're a dick if you don't go talk to that girl and tell her she's fucking gorgeous, and like you'll make her day. And like you could just go into a McDonald's and be like, "Hey, I want a Whopper. I want a Whopper. I'm not leaving until I get a Whopper." Like that's Burger King, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I'm just kidding," and they'll be like, "Oh my God, thank you for like just switching up the monotony in my day," and like offering yourself, like that's what we're here to do. But there's this idea that, oh, I don't want to seem horny or whatever. Like I told the girl she had a nice ass the other day, yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, thanks for the compliment. You know, I go to the gym. I got a boyfriend."
If you're not horny, think about this, Luke. If you're not horny, you're succumbing to society. You're succumbing to the state. You're succumbing to the Illuminati. You're succumbing to actually the agenda of the new world. Because what's the agenda of the new world? They're trying to destroy the masculine polarity and they're trying to destroy the feminine polarity. Yeah, that's why I live in the city center of Munich. And I'm fucking surprised, it's like every second time I go out, there's a fucking LGBT festival going on, I know back in the days, it used to be like once a year. I think it was called Christopher Streets Day, but, no one gave a fuck about it. And now I think it's like 3 or 4 times per year. The whole fucking city is full with people dressed up as lesbians, with gay people. And I'm just scared of it, I just see these people and I think, oh my God, let's hope I manage to get to the supermarket and then go home, back home as soon as possible. But everyone seems to be embracing it, and I'm thinking to myself, why shouldn't we help these people? Shouldn't we help these people to embrace their femininity if they are born as a woman? Shouldn't we help men to embrace their masculinity if they are born as men? So actually, by suppressing our sexuality and saying, "Oh no, I'm not going to engage in all that," we are succumbing to the agenda of the new world, and that's something to think about. Also another thing I wanted to say is that the feeling that you get after pickups, be it successful or not, and I can only say this because I'm looking at my coffee machine, which is unplugged and is looking to get sold. It gives you the feeling that everyone is looking for. It stimulates you. Yeah. It increases your dopamine, your serotonin, your oxytocin, everything. People are going to Starbucks all the time. People are going to the doctor to get some antidepressants or something to push themselves or whatever. All they need to do is to put themselves out there, be it on the phone, be it in real life, and talk to people. And it's better than everything that can be put in the pill form or capsule or in a coffee mug. Because I've been drinking that coffee every single day and it's not doing anything anymore, It's not doing anything.
Yeah, man, it's really true. Like we're humans, we're social beings. It's been designed to make us be in these little boxes and little prisons, and like, oh, you can't just go up to a woman and this and that. And it's like, no, they want a fucking man that will say, "Hey, I see you, I want you. You have a nice ass." Like this woman, she's like, "Yeah, I go to the gym." Like that's why I want people to see, I want to look good.
Yeah, and you're clearly an ass guy, right? I think every time you tell me about a woman, it's about her bottom.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's interesting because I'm more of a boobs guy, but I like small boobs and small asses. But then I've lost so much weight since I'm a vegan that my tastes have changed.
You like vegan tits and ass. You like them
Yeah,
small?
exactly.
What?
More or less, yeah.
What? Wait, okay. Well, how come you like them small? What's that?
I'm happy with, well, you know what? I actually I moved to Munich. You know, in Munich we have a lot of beer and people eat a lot of pork and fatty meat and everything. Yeah. So if you walk through the city center, you see big tits and big asses, but the bad type of fat. Yeah. So what's it called? Slobby fat. Yeah. Not tight and fat. And that's why I'm just tired of seeing big boobs. Yeah, I'm just tired of seeing big boobs, and that's why I like the small ones more. But I'm happy with both. Yeah, I'm happy with both, like I said. But
Yeah.
what besides the buttocks? What's your kind of perfect ideal type?
Yeah, it's funny. The other day, Sasha mentioned like a flat stomach. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty nice too, but I guess I didn't mind too much.
Do you even find it in the US nowadays?
Yeah, yeah, you can. Um, there's definitely some skinnier women. I don't need them too skinny, but I don't know, man. I like voluptuous women. I'm pretty tall. I'm about 6'5". I'm pretty skinny as well, so maybe I like the contrast. I like curves. I like big boobs. I like big butt. I like obviously nice face, nice legs. Um, yeah, man, it's been quite a while, and
What about the hair color? Blonde or
hair
brunette?
color. Well, I've been messing around with Latino women the last few years. I'm open to. I don't. I haven't been with that many blonde women. I think I prefer darker skin, darker hair.
It's interesting because you clearly have dark hair, but you have blue eyes, right?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
have some of that calm and energy or cold-bloodedness, like we say.
I do cold-bloodedness.
Well, cold-bloodedness, I mean, in terms of, I mean, I read a book, I think it was The Way of the Superior Man, and he actually talked about how different women have
Right.
different energies, right? Yeah, and I think he said that blonde women that possibly even have blue eyes, they tend to have a calming energy. And I think he even said something about their blood having a different temperature. Yeah, so with cold-bloodedness, I think he means something different than what people usually refer to. It's just really interesting because before I got into Nofap, I was actually a blonde guy. Yeah, but now if you look at me, would you say I'm blonde or would you say I have brown hair?
Yeah, yeah, brown hair.
My hair color changed, dude. My hair color changed because of the Nofap. Before I started dopamine discipline, I was clearly a blonde guy. Yeah. And I was only into blonde girls. And then I actually, my hair color turned much darker and my beard started growing much more. And I have basically made a fool out of myself because I did so much pickup. Yeah. Even when I was a blonde guy, I actually had the brown hair personality. Yeah. Because I was never really shy, meek, or introverted, but I was still looking for these blonde girls. And, and they were looking for something different. And I think it's actually a woman that I met through social media. She told me that she's into brown-haired guys, and I was really angry, and I deleted her. And then later on, she told me that, why did you delete me after I posted that? And I said that, well, clearly you said that I'm not your type, and she didn't reply to that. But I thought about it for a long time, and then I looked at myself in the mirror over and over again, and I realized that, wait a second, dude, you're not blonde anymore. I'm simply not blonde anymore. And And that's good news, because if you're looking for blonde girls, I mean, there's only a small percentage of people that are blonde. I did some research that if a blonde-haired person and a brown-haired person, if they get the child, then most likely the child will be dark-haired. Yeah, it's rather unlikely that child will have blonde hair. Yeah, so we don't have a lot of blonde people there, and and I get much more positive vibes from dark-haired people. And yeah, don't get me started on Latinas. If you're in a nightclub with Latinas, that's when life starts. Yeah, that's when life starts, being in a nightclub with Latinas.
Yeah, man. I've been realizing too lately, in the school we're having this conversation, like I haven't allowed myself to like think about, or I mean I think about it, but like talk about women like in this way, or like, I'm a sexual being, obviously. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had this idea that it's not spiritual, or like I can't do
Oh,
it being in the community of people, like, people got boyfriends and girlfriends and shit, and like I used to fuck a lot of women in different ways, and it's like,
it's the most spiritual thing in the world.
yeah, like that's why the fuck we're here.
That's why we're on this planet. Every wolf, every bear, every bird that wakes up, all they're trying to do is to find food and impregnate a woman. Yeah. And sometimes, obviously, they have to wait for the right time of the day and so on, But every fucking animal that's not trying to find a suitable female is just really fucking weird. And I think this applies to human beings as well. And that's what actually makes me sad about some people from the dopamine discipline community, when they opt out of everything that is sexual, and then they keep reiterating that they are fucking depressed, that they have treatment resistant depression, and they're sad every fucking day. And I think all they need to do is to start embracing their sexuality again. Yeah, start embracing it. And it doesn't mean to shoot out their semen, because I have done both. I have been retaining the semen for a long time, and I have been shooting the semen out for a long time. And now I see we have 4 minutes left, because we only have 1 hour for this podcast. But I realized one big thing, Luke, and it's actually the statement that I want to end the podcast with, but I'm curious about your opinion on this, is that if you're on a really long streak of semen retention, you will usually reflect much more on yourself, on your life, on everything. Yeah. Because you're kind of taking the blue pill. Yeah. You're taking the blue pill. You're opting out of the matrix, and you see all your flaws. Yeah. You see all your potential. You get a taste of your potential, and you realize all the stuff that you could be doing, but you're not doing right now. Yeah. And that's why people sometimes feel sad when they're on a long streak, because they actually see what their potential is, and they realize they're not tapping into it yet. But if you jerk off, if you release your semen, you're taking the, what's it? No, sorry, you're taking the blue pill, right? The blue pill is the one that's when you're opting into the
Okay.
matrix. Yeah, you ejaculate, and life is just different. All you think about is eating and pussy. You become really numb and naive. You don't see the bigger picture anymore, and you're just chasing the high through, drinking a coffee, popping another Adderall or whatever, trying to sleep, but it doesn't even fucking matter, because if your body doesn't have any semen to convert into spirituality, into an energy, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Nothing will help you. Nothing will help you other than not ejaculating for at least 100 days, and then life starts to get good again. Then for me personally, all the itching starts. My body doesn't know any allergies anymore. I have the worst hay fever. I have the worst food allergies in the world. But if I'm on a good streak of 100, 150 days, my body is able to cope with everything. My body is able to cope with everything. And having sex with the right person at the right time, in the right type of way, is the most healing thing in the world. But yeah, once you get it, once you get a taste of it, once you bite into the apple, it's over, right? It's over because you think that now this is the solution, and then you start ejaculating. Then you think, oh, you know what, it was so good, let's just do it again, or let's just, watch a bit of porn, and then it's just so fucking difficult to stay disciplined.
Yeah, I feel like if we're out there talking to women, we're out there expressing what we want and these things, that's a way that we're getting relief. That's the way we're pursuing the feminine, we're expressing our masculine, and we're getting that relief that doesn't just like, oh, I want to fucking watch some filthy shit and just fucking release that pressure. So yeah, I think we can keep doing what we're doing, putting ourselves out there, talking to the people, waking them up to, you don't just have to be a fucking robot and walk to your job and do the same bullshit every day.
And I think with ejaculation, you become a fucking robot, because all you care about, you don't have any energy, dude. If you're ejaculating, what the fuck can you do? I myself, I'm not even able to cook a meal after I ejaculated. All I can do is order something from
Wow.
Uber Eats or whatever, because I simply don't give a fuck. And that's why I think a great thing one of my mentors said once is that in life, you're either in an upward spiral or you're in a downward spiral, And I see that with other people as well. It's quite rare that someone stays the same. Usually they're doing a little bit better every year, or they're doing a little bit worse every year. And that's why, you can't stay the same, because we're getting older. Yeah, the 30 is exactly the age where your testosterone starts to drop. Yeah. So now all the shit that you have learned during your 20s has to be applied in an even more disciplined way, and honed as much as possible, because it won't get easier with time. I'm 35, and I know when I was 29, when I was 30, I was still kicking it. I could make a lot of mistakes. It wouldn't matter because my body still had enough energy. 35, much different story. Much different story. I have to be really careful about what I do, about what I don't do, about what I consume, what I don't consume, because my body is slowly declining unless I actually take the initiative and turn things around. Yeah, but I won't be able to turn it around with coffee. I won't be able to turn it around with Adderall. All I can do is use the natural means that are available to me, which is the semen, which is the dopamine, which is the serotonin, which is the oxytocin, and which can only be brought to me by other people. Yeah, which can only be brought to me by other people, because the more isolated we become, the more we die inside. Yeah, and the less we're able to tap into our faculties. And that's extremely important in nowadays age, where people start working from home and everything. And just because you can do it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing. So that's why I think something like pickup is more difficult today, because we're not even used to going outside our comfort zone as much, because we can do everything from home. We can do everything on the smartphone. We don't even have to call people anymore. We can just book everything online. And that's why it's just such a beautiful thing to actually tap into these resources and to absorb all this energy from other people. And you will always be stimulated in a healthy way. Yeah, your body will never produce more dopamine than necessary, and less serotonin. That's the type of shit that you get with all the medicine. It will always be a bit out of whack unless you're lucky, and maybe the dose is exactly right, and then it's only a matter of time unless it's off again. So you can only find happiness and personal satisfaction through other people.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I think if we can cultivate it ourselves with being ourselves, and then now I'm going to go out and meet the people and share that. Because, we might not always be around other people, but I'm content with myself and how I am, and I'm happy to share that with others. So maybe that's a nice balancing point to what you're saying.
Well, anyway, is there anything else you wanted to speak about today, Luke?
I think this is a great first one, man. I'm happy to do more. Yeah, thank you for all the questions.
Thanks as well. Yeah, it was really deep and interesting. Also, thanks for your input on this, and hopefully we will both be able to apply at least a little bit of what we have talked about today.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go down to the downtown and talk to some folks.
Yeah, I'm also going. It's actually 10 p.m. now. I'm going to a bar because I won't be able to sleep anyway. We're both the insomniac type right now. So instead of lying in bed by myself, why not just go to a bar and maybe it sucks. Maybe I get the flu again, but it doesn't fucking matter because being in bed by myself will most certainly not heal me of all the mental and emotional ailments that I have right now. Take care. All the best. Keep it up.
All right, man. You
Right.
too. Peace.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. That was the intention. I had fun talking with Benjamin. He's a good dude. We went real deep, which was fun, and we'll probably talk to him again and other people. So if you want to see me talk to other folks, or if you want to be one of those other folks, then you can let me know. You can comment on the video, or you can DM me on Instagram at Luke Mungo, or you can email me at mungo333@protonmail.com. And stay tuned for more of these type of things. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. All right, folks. Take care. Peace.